Member for Arafura.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Lands, Planning and Environment. Minister, the former Labor government committed to fund the Aboriginal Ranger Grants Program. The CLP matched that commitment. Yet in this budget, you've scrapped this $12 million program, despite independent review finding that it delivered critical outcomes in land and sea management across the territory. You have thrown Aboriginal Ranger groups under the bus, stripping them of the resources they need to fight feral animals, control weeds and mitigate fire risk. How do you justify breaking this election commitment and betraying our ranger groups? How many jobs and economic opportunities will be lost because you decided to axe this funding and break your promise?
Minister for Lands, Planning and Environment.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I thank the member for the question. Let's be very clear, Madam Speaker. You can't axe something that's never there. This time-limited funding ended in June, Madam Speaker. That is the truth of the matter here, Madam Speaker. And just like Mother Hubbard, when she went to the cupboard, when the Treasurer went to the cupboard to look at where this funding was, it was not there, Madam Speaker. Labor were doing their dirty tricks, Madam Speaker, to ensure they could keep under the $15 billion debt cap, Madam Speaker. That is what they were doing. They did not allocate any funding towards ranger groups. That is the truth of the matter. It was time-limited funding that was ending in June of this year. They did not budget for a number of things, Madam Speaker. Some things we've continued to discover since coming to government, and the Treasurer has spoken at great length about that time-limited funding. The member for the opposition said on ABC Radio that Labor had a plan for reducing debt over the next few years. Yet we don't exactly know what that was going to be, Madam Speaker. Just spend more and more. That was their answer, Madam Speaker. Well, that's not what the CLP Finocchiaro government are doing. We are ensuring that we are making responsible decisions to get the budget under control. And the Treasurer has outlined how we are spending $300 million less whilst continuing to invest in police, in the correction services, in our courts, Madam Speaker, and in our DV services.
Silence. Minister, take your seat. Leader of the Opposition, what is your point of order?
Standing Order 110, relevance, Madam Speaker. The question was clearly around the election commitment the CLP made and why did they break that in this budget?
I think the Minister's answering it. Please continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I will say again very loudly and clearly for anyone listening here today, the Ranger Grants Program was time-limited funding that ended in June of this year, and there was no funding put in the budget by the Labor government to continue that into the future. Our budget, Madam Speaker, that we have handed down puts victims of crime first. We have put forward a responsible budget in regards to law and order. This government remains supportive, Madam Speaker, of Aboriginal Ranger groups in the Northern Territory. They receive money.
Take your seat. What's the point of your point of order, member for Guadalajara?
It is 110 relevance, Madam Speaker. The member for Namatjira said that CLP remains committed to Aboriginal grant range programs. If elected, we will fully fund the program with $12 million over 4 years. Why have you broken that promise?
Okay. Please continue, Minister. There'll be no more points of order. I think the Minister gets the question. No need to repeat it. Okay, Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This government remains supportive of the Aboriginal Ranger groups in the Northern Territory. The Aboriginal Ranger groups, to be very clear, receive funding from the Commonwealth Government and will continue to do so. There are a range of anti-government initiatives and programs.
Can you pause? Opposition Leader, last warning. Please continue, Minister.
Thank you very much. There are a range of anti-government initiatives and programs for which our Aboriginal Ranger groups can apply for targeted funding, project funding, something we will support them to do.
Please sit down. There's no more points of order. 16 seconds to go, Minister. Please continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We will continue to work with Aboriginal Ranger groups across the Territory to ensure we can support them in their important work moving forward, Madam Speaker.